Hello and welcome to West Country Wanderings. Welcome to one of my railway series. Something a little bit different today. Well, I'll try and make all my videos a little bit different. I'm here in the Forest of Dean. In fact, I'm on the Dean Forest Railway at one of their intermediate stations called Whitecroft, and shortly I'll be heading down to Parkend, or should I say up to Parkend, to meet up with a fellow YouTuber, because we're going to do a little bit of a railway adventure here in the Forest of Dean. You probably guess who that is, but just tell you a little bit before we go up there to Parkend about hopefully what we'll be seeing later today in this video in the forest. My favourite parts of the West Country, really. It's such an interesting place with so much to see and to explore around it. There was an act in 1810 formulating the Severn Wye, but not just the railway, but also the canal, the Lydney Canal, from the River Severn into Lydney Harbour and then into the town of Lydney, and also with this railway from Lydney Junction heading up there into the forest to Parkend and beyond. Now, the interesting thing to tell you is that there are plans to extend the Dean Forest Railway northwards, north from Parkend, which is where we're heading over shortly, and then going on to the site of, well, close to, I think it's called Beechin-Croft or Beechin-Hurst. Beechin-Hurst, is that the New Forest, but it's something like that, and it's near the site of the old Speech House Road station that was once there. I think there's like a picnic area and a car park. That's where they're planning to extend it to, which will take the line from about 3.5 miles to about 5 miles or so, which would be great. And it's in that area that we'll be heading up to. So you later had the South Wales line heading down from Gloucester, 1868, something like that. And then there was another line that came off the Severn Wye at a place called Serridge Junction, a very unusual kind of a twisty, turny junction that, which led across to Lydbrook. And the reason that that was built was primarily for freight to get out iron ore here from the Forest of Dean and into South Wales, and they thought that would be a shorter route of doing so, kind of heading in the Monmouth direction. So we're going to be looking at a section of that today, and hopefully a couple of secrets along the way. So without further ado, what I'm going to do now is going to take you over to Parkend Station, which is one of my favourite stations of all the heritage lines, which opened in 2005, and meet up with our fellow YouTuber. So this won't be kind of a usual railway series video, because there'll be a bit of chat between me and the person that we'll be meeting shortly, which won't completely just be about railways, it'll be about other things as well. So hopefully grab yourself a cup of tea, coffee, your beverage of choice, a biscuit, and settle back and hopefully enjoy this explore here in the Forest of Dean in the western half of the county of Gloucestershire. Well, I have Darren with me from Somerset Man Walking.
Hi guys, how are you? How are you, Paul?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm really looking forward to this. So we're here at Parkend. So you saw Whitecroft just now. Here at Parkend, which opened, or restored, should I say, in 2005, part of the Dean Forest Railway. And what we're looking at is another branch which came off this one, up there, north of here. So, yeah. We're both looking forward to this, aren't we?
We are, yeah. It's going to be a bit of an exploration, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah.
I know nothing about it. Paul knows a lot more than me. I just sort of...
I've never been to what we're looking at before, so just tell you a little bit about it. They've actually got plans to extend. Apparently, those are the biggest level crossing gates in the country. That's unverified, so don't put it in the kids' book.
They are big,
they're
though,
pretty
aren't they?
big. Yeah. So I'm not sure about that, but I did read somewhere that they are apparent. So if you know bigger ones, please drop a comment below. Nice restored signal box here. There's a great second-hand bookshop in there, which opens, well, will be later on this morning. So we're about 9ish, I think, here on a Saturday morning, ready for our wander here. But there was another branch line. So this kind of it was originally a tramway at 1810. Part of the canal scheme out of Lydney, like I mentioned, and then 1850s proper railway heading up there towards the town of Cinderford, where I'm not going to go into the details about the history of railways around Cinderford. It's very complex. I think it had about 4 railway stations in different locations, so that's not for today. But off this line was another railway which came off at a place called Serridge Junction, and that opened in 1870 to get the iron ore out of the forest and across into South Wales via the Ross and Monmouth line at Lydbrook Junction. And on that line there were two notable features. One of them was an incredible viaduct across the Lydbrook Valley. It is amazing. I'll insert a couple of photos now so you can see that. That was just an extraordinary sight. Sadly, that is no more. But the other feature of that branch is something that we're going to have a look at. And it's got, now I'm not sure the pronunciation, Mierystock and Moristock.
I want to say Miristo, but
yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, well we're going to go with Mierystock. If you're local and you know different, you'll probably correct us. But I think it's Miristo.
I was going to ask you actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, the way it's spelled, I would have said it was Miristock.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but we're going to go with Miristock, whether that's right or not. But
Yeah.
we're not sure. But I've seen a couple of different spellings
I'm
of
sure
it as
somebody
well.
will.
Yeah.
Somebody
So
will tell us.
well, that's the way we're heading, and we'll probably walk on part of the old track bed of that branch to Lydbrook Junction, and we'll take it from there. We don't know else what we're going to see, so we're going to leave here from Parkend station now, and then driving our cars a little bit north. And I'm not sure what the car park's called, but I just know it's off New Road.
Yeah,
isn't it?
New
So
Road, yeah.
heading direction of Lydbrook. So we're going to go over and do that.
I'm glad I
And,
got my jeans on and not my shorts.
yeah, it
I've got a
might be
funny
one of those.
feeling,
It's going to be
yeah.
a bit nettly and ferny and a bit bulgy. I'm going to put my boots on. I can't drive in my boots, so I'm going to have to swap them over before I start the walk. So let's start adventures here in the Forest of Dean.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, see you in a bit. Cheers.
See you later, guys.
So we're now at, what was the name of the car park? It's a funny name. It was Speculation.
Speculation, yeah, that's right,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
a car park called Speculation, which I think is owned by the Forestry Commission, Forestry England. But it's free, isn't it?
Yeah,
There's
free
no,
car park.
Yeah, I think
Happy
last
days.
time, I think it was Cannock. Were we at Cannock Pounds or? the other one?
Mallard's Pike.
Mallard's
I had to pay,
Pike.
And I paid twice
Oh yes, yeah, that's right.
for some reason.
But here you don't have to pay. So
No.
this is the track bed. That way takes you back down to Parkend where we were. Serridge Junction. We may have a look at that if we've got time. This way, where we're walking now, is in the direction of Lydbrook Junction, and where the line met the Ross on Wye to Monmouth line, which then would have been its way for the iron ore to come out of the forest and into South Wales. So yeah, what are you feeling about this end, Darren? Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me
I
too.
mean, you know, I've been sworn to secrecy about what we're going to actually go and try and look at.
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
Yeah, I
am.
don't know what we're going to see, so we're going to make our way along here and see what we see, following the track bed. I think it's about maybe maybe half to 3/4 of a mile, I think, to see what we're looking at. But we're just literally following the old track bed. It's climbing. I think it was about 1 in 57 gradient up to the top
Quite
of
steep,
Lydbrook
yeah.
Viaduct. Yeah. Oh, the other thing to mention while we're walking along is I spoke to my dad about this line. He had a girlfriend in Lydbrook before he got married, and he was, because he's living in Stroud Valleys where I do now, came over here in his bike, and he remembers walking along that viaduct when it was still, well, the line had closed because it enclosed around 1956 for passengers, but it stayed on for a bit longer for freight. But it was still there then, would have been higher. But he walked on that viaduct back in the 1950s. I'd love to have done that. But there are some amazing photographs of that viaduct. It's an incredible trestle structure right over.
And
but
nothing left of that now.
no, I think there might be some abutments on both sides. If we've got time again, maybe we might have a look at that. But sadly, viaduct is no more. Yeah, which is a real shame. But yeah, so I think it was a single track, so you can clearly see. There it is, there's a track bed behind us back to Serridge and Parkend. But lovely walking.
Just imagine the loco chugging its way up here. Can't
It
you?
would have been carrying a heavy load of all that iron ore.
Yeah. It's quite
So
steep. Well, not, you know, it's not steep out for
No.
us, but
but it would have been
yeah,
hard work for
it would
the
have been hard work for the
loco
wouldn't it?
carrying all that iron ore behind it. I don't know how many trucks he would have carried making their way to South Wales. Well, the furnaces.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what it would have been doing. But very pleasant here on a
It
Saturday
is.
morning, nice and dry. I think the sun may make an appearance later as we make our way for exploring what we're going to do.
It's going to get up to about 19 here, I think.
Yeah, I think it should be alright.
And
Yeah.
then rain tomorrow, something to look forward to.
Yeah, rain. Editing.
day.
Definitely an editing. Another editing day tomorrow. Catch up with you in a bit. Thanks, Darren. Cheers.
You're welcome.
Darren just told me something really interesting about, because he's been here before, not to do a YouTube or even walking along here.
No.
Here at Speculation, we've been speculating about why it's called Speculation. We don't know, but now you were here 30 years ago.
Yeah, it's been about 30 years ago as a co-driver. So Speculation is one of the forests that was used on the Wye Rally.
Brilliant.
So it's quite possible that I would have come along here in a Mark 1 Escort.
Wow.
Which might have been a Mark 2 we had at the time. And yeah, as you can see there, really smooth cut out stages here, what we would call stages. I would have been unaware back then it would have been an old track bed.
Right, yeah.
They're basically used for logging. So the money that was raised, because Forest Rallying is a club rally driver or co-driver, they pay about £1,000, but even back then for an event. Now, if you've got 120 to 180 cars, that's quite a lot of money. But they used to put that towards regrading the basically their logging rates.
Logging rounds,
generally.
Yeah, for forestry.
So yeah, Speculation.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Wow, what a memory from 30 years ago, rallying in cars along here. Well, so with that, would have been like a West Country league, or was it a national league?
Oh right,
or?
so we were just club rally, but we belonged to Burnham-on-Sea Motor Sport Club.
Oh right, yeah, okay.
We had Group B licenses, so we were basically just club driver, club co-driver, and you'd enter, for us, you could enter events. We'd be seated lower down.
Yes.
There would always be some type of championship running.
Yeah.
At the time we were doing it, it would have been the Peugeot GTI Challenge.
Ah.
So like
right,
a UK challenge. And another little story about that for the rally fans. You might remember a guy that won a world title called Richard Burns. Right. And I met Richard on my very first rally at Porlock. We were sat at the bottom of Porlock Toll Road, and his co-driver looked at me and he said, "You all right, mate?" And I said, "No, not really, it's my first rally." And he said, "Well, let me give you some advice." And he literally gave me some advice about reading notes out, staying relaxed and breathing and everything else.
Ah, fantastic.
And that was Richard Burns' co-driver. I can't remember his name, but so I met Richard Burns.
Brilliant. Oh, that's fantastic.
He went on to be a world champion for Subaru.
Whoa, wow, that is fantastic. That's a brilliant bit of a rallying story here. It's Speculation here in the Forest City. We're walking along the track bed.
Rallying today.
No!
As soon as I heard the Speculation, I thought,
I told you it'd be a bit of a different railway series video today, but thanks for that, Darren. That's absolutely fantastic. Cheers. So Darren's just pointed this out to me, which is a huge heap there. It's enormous. Now, it's potentially possible, it's linked to what we're going to be looking at, but also highly likely to be this byproduct of a colliery in this area for either coal or for the iron ore. Also on the ground in this area, we can make out lots of bricks, so there would have been some buildings. So I want to get back and do the edits, if I can find an old photograph of this bit here of Speculation Wood and see what was once here, but it would definitely indicate lots of mining activity. Now we're looking back in the direction of Parkend. Now at this point the cycle track makes its way over and above the old railway track, so this down here is our old railway line, branch line 1870 to Lydbrook Junction. And so that's back in the direction of Parkend, Lydney Junction. So we're standing on a bridge here, a very handsome bridge, though we can't at this point see what it looks like from track level, but we hopefully will be able to. Now we've decided we can't get through there, it's completely overgrown, it's covered in bramble, fern, goodness knows what else, and so that is the cycle path there, which at this point then joins up with the main Gloucester and Monmouth Road. What we want to see is over the other side of the bridge.
There's no route through there, but I reckon if we walked round that way, when I looked on the top of the bridge looking down, it looked like there was a bit of a path going down. It was going to be steep, but
okay, we'll give
I
it a
wasn't
go.
expecting it to.
No. no.
just be there like
No,
that.
neither did I. No.
Quite incredible.
Excellent. Let's carry on our adventures. Thanks, Darren. Well, we've got our first substantial piece of civil engineering on this branch line. That was constructed around about 1870. I think it perhaps opened 1871 and opened for passengers later. That's a really, really handsome brick structure there in superb condition. Absolutely superb condition there. Severn Wye Railway Company, which later became part of the GWR and MR, so it was kind of bought between both. So it was both MR and GWR that looked after this line in its latter years, and of course later on BR Western Region before closure. Well, that's an amazing sight. A bit of some brickwork here. And is a little bit boggy along here. Darren's just said he's got some new walking boots which are literally days old and now aren't looking quite so new now, but that's kind of what they're for, I guess. And here's what we're looking for. Darren's just making his way up to what is the southern portal of the Mierystock Tunnel here on the former branch to Lydbrook Junction on the Severn Wye. What an incredible structure and what a beautiful, beautiful arch that is. Oh yeah, that's right. We're talking about Ron from Parkinson's Walks. I've been a fan of Ron. I'll link to Ron's channel in this video because he's inspired both of us to come here. Just before we look at the tunnel itself, Southern Portal, we have this here, which looks like a drainage channel coming out there. Obviously would have needed, because this would have been boggy when, as soon as the cutting would have been constructed. I think it's 262 yards long, about 220 meters long tunnel. Let's make our way down there. You okay?
Yeah.
So you can see there.
Yeah, that's that one being resolved.
Need to move that behind the camera as well. So now we're inside Mierystock Tunnel, Southern Portal. Now we're not sure whether the Northern Portal is bricked up. It was infilled in the 1970s by a load of waste. Just shine the light up on there. Darren is filming here, inside the tunnel.
Switch my Osmo onto low light a second and bring you back, guys. Low light on there, guys. See a bit further. Yeah.
Picking up the walls of the tunnel, even with the fairly bright light looking down the tunnel, it just literally is going into a black hole down there. We can't see anything down the sides of it. That's wonderful, but you can feel the drop in the temperature, can't you, Darren?
Yeah,
it's a huge.
It's quite warm a minute ago. And it's quite nice to have a bit of. I don't know how much further big anchor really does.
Bits of old rail we can see along there, of course, which is really surprising.
You know what? You cannot see light at the other end. You think it's probably because the other end is either completely blocked, or the fact that the tunnel is on a curve. We've got refuge here. Quite a large refuge, actually. I could actually stand up and have myself. I'm just over 6 foot. So that is actually quite a large refuge there. So underfoot is basically a mixture of gravel, beautiful colours to be fair.
It's an oxide leaking out there, look at that.
Yeah, an oxide. There is another refuge just here in the back. There's probably quite a few back here. Would you say it's 220 odd?
220 metres. So it's about a quarter of a kilometre to just, what's that? That's just just less than a quarter of a mile. Yeah, about an eighth of a mile. Yeah, you can see all that pouring out of here. That looks like the thing you see at Goff's Cave in Cheddar, doesn't it? Look at that. That looks really. Look how that's just poured out.
You know what amazes me? Is the actual shape of the tunnel.
Yes.
It's more sort of oval shape.
It's oval shape, which is unusual.
Like the top of an N shape ball.
Yeah. I've never come across one this shape before.
Most of them are, as you'd expect, sort of semi-circular.
Look at the ornate brickwork on that.
But it's so well constructed, guys, as we always say. The engineering and the workmanship, the craftsmanship that goes into these things always blows me away, it really does. Bring you back in a sec, guys.
Well, this is amazing filming in the tunnel here. I'm just following Darren. Darren's just a little bit ahead of me, and he said you can see a little bit of light, so we don't know whether we'll be able to go any further or explore through the tunnel here, but let's carry on a little bit more. So I'm carrying on filming down here. It's probably very echoey and the sound's rubbish, and it's probably very grainy, but doing the best with the lighting here. And we can see light at the other end, so we're going to carry on, see if it is still unblocked down the far end of the tunnel. It looks like it is blocked, but light's still coming through. There is a mist, isn't there? So we're both in the tunnel. We've walked to the northern portal, which unfortunately we can't get in, but it's been bricked up, but it's cleared, so it's letting light in, isn't it?
Yeah,
you can see the light coming through.
There's a tiny little door as well, but I don't think I'd be crawling through that.
No.
The mud is
very thick.
Yeah, it's about sort of 10 metres back from the entrance, and I'm already in the doghouse because of me brand new walking boots my wife bought me, so I'm not going to risk.
Oh dear.
You know, I mean, this is nothing being in this tunnel. By the time I get home, I might as well die here anyway. No, I'm only kidding, guys, but it's fascinating.
It's brilliant. Isn't it? It's very well engineered. It's in very good condition, apart from that bit of like red oxide-y stuff coming through.
Yeah.
Sandstone. Bedrock.
I just can't believe the shape of it.
It's oval shape. Now, I don't know
it's like
why.
An egg shape,
it
isn't
is.
it? The top of an egg. And I've never...
So well engineered.
Ever so sort of tool is the right word, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
It is.
But it's beautiful.
We're going to make our way back to the southern portal and then see if we can go round to have a look at the northern portal, which is just to the north of the Gloucester Monmouth Road. So, see you in a bit. Yeah, brilliant. Thanks for this adventure, Darren. Absolutely wonderful. It's not something I'd want to do on my own.
No, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't.
No. I wouldn't venture on my own. But
if you do come down, guys, then obviously just be really careful. Just take.
It's very slippery.
Bring a good torch with you.
Yeah. It's really slippery.
And some decent wellies, I would suggest.
In places it's quite boggy. Yeah. Catch up with you in a bit. Cheers. Thanks, Darren.
You're welcome.
So I've got Darren with me. We've come out of the southern portal there. There it is. What a magnificent portal that is.
Amazing.
What did you think of your exploring there,
I thought it was amazing. You know, I mean, I still can't get over the shape of it. I know we keep saying, but the shape of it is like an egg. If you imagine an egg cup with your egg in the morning, you're just about to take the top off. That is exactly what that portal
is, isn't it?
It's incredible, and inside it's very cold in there, and we could see our breath.
We could.
We just come out now, and it's really warm again. Yeah, fantastic. It curves round to the left if you're going from this end. Quite a lot.
It does.
You know, not so you can't see the other end.
No, because I thought it had been filled back in again.
Just blew me away.
With that lighting as well, with the light kind of, you could see like a reflection because the walls are wet inside, and the light was just kind of percolating through. But it's just a shame you can't walk all the way through.
No,
it's very muddy at the end.
Like 10 metres from the end, and we wouldn't have been able to get out anyway.
No.
But we're going to go and see if we can
we'll see if we can go around the top of it now by the road and then cross over and see if we can find the other portal for you. Yeah, so thanks for Darren, and thanks for accompanying there. I'd say I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't be able to get the photographs or video in there without it.
I said to Paul when we were in there, I said, like, we were right down the other end, and I said, what happens? I said, if we come back up, they blocked the gate here because it was open. We've not done anything wrong.
Definitely not. No.
And I would have been shouting.
Yes,
quite loudly.
We both would have been no phone signal in there.
No phone signal at all. Not even here. You can't get a phone signal.
It's nothing around in these parts. No. Thanks, Darren. Yeah, let's go and have
welcome.
a wander.
I really enjoyed that.
Brilliant. Cheers. Thank you. We're now on the northern side of the Monmouth to Gloucester Road, and this here is our railway. So that's our railway heading across to what would have been Lydbrook Viaduct and Lydbrook Junction, and here it goes over a culvert, small bridge. The modern day version is to take the cycle track. We're going to make our way back though, backtracking that where Darren is there, down to hopefully the northern portal of Mierystock Tunnel. So we've got some railway fencing up there, and you can see some wall edging here for the cutting of our railway branch line. This must have cost an absolute fortune to have made with the tunnel and the viaduct and all the associated culverts and embankments and wallings. We're attempting to make our way to the northern port. It's getting very, very boggy and quite overgrown. So I'm just following Darren at the moment, watching out for the bramble and slippy underfoot here. Right, as you can see up there, it looks like there's been a landslip recently. Behind there was once a quarry. It may be still a bit active, we're not sure. Also some mine workings, and it looks like it's slipped down into the cutting where the railway once ran here towards the northern portal of Mierystock Tunnel. Now this is what we've got confronting us in front of us. It is completely overgrown. We've got this far, but sadly it doesn't look like we're going any further.
I'm going to cry.
We did try. We did.
We shouldn't really be here anyway.
No. There was a fence there. We haven't smashed it down. Other people have come this way, but potentially it could be why they've not reopened this as a cycle route. Well, unfortunately, we couldn't find the northern portal of Mierystock. It's a bit disappointing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But it's not. We're not letting it dampen our spirits because we found the southern and we walked to the northern inside the tunnel. Although we couldn't get out, we got to that end of it. So
brilliant.
We're really pleased about that. So we're heading back to our cars now at, what was it called? Salutation. No, not salutation. What's it called?
Speculation.
Speculation. I knew it was something like that. But we've made a slight diversion. We're probably going to close the video in Parkend, but we're actually going now towards the site of what was Serridge Junction. So this is the point where this branch heading to Lydbrook and Monmouth would have left the main bit up from Parkend towards Cinderford. So it goes on a funny curve. So I think we're now on the funny curve bit, following around here. Before we do that though, I've got Darren here and just going to ask him about what's been happening on Somerset Man Walking over on YouTube.
Well, quite a bit of walking, Paul, to be fair. I've done a lovely collaboration with Patrick.
Oh right, yeah.
The solitary rambler.
Yes.
He led the way, so I couldn't get lost. Keeps coming up this, doesn't it? You know. But yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic walk with Patrick.
He's a great guy. Yeah.
He is. He's a lovely guy. Very easy, like yourself, Paul, to get on with, and we just walk. We're not in any rush. Yeah, we did Bleeding Hill down into a place called Criston, Loxton, and then back up on the West Mendip Way, and it was thoroughly enjoyable. Oh, what else have I been up to? I've been going down in the caves. I've done a little short video on.
Oh, was it Avelines?
Avelines.
Is that in Cheddar Gorge itself?
No, Avelines Hole is at the bottom of Burrington.
Right.
And it's very interesting because it's the oldest known, scientifically proven cemetery in Britain.
Wow.
Dates back well over 10,000 years.
Whoa.
Just after the Ice Age. It's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. So that's one to watch if you're interested.
I'll link to that Avelines Hole video of Darren's at the end of this video.
Yeah, it's only like a 5-minute video. And I just found some information on it. I used to play down there as a kid. There was bone fractures found, bone fragments I should say, found in the cave. And also there was crosses, you know, inscriptions on the walls. They're the oldest ones to have ever been found scientifically and recorded.
Wow.
So I never knew that. I used to play down there as a kid. No idea at all. So yeah, a mixture again, Paul, of walking and just visiting places of interest, and a couple of railway ones that I've done. So yeah,
that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. I'd love that. Yeah, I've heard about this. I've read it in a book, and I've never actually explored down there myself. So it's something I'd like to do in the future, I think. But we're thinking about doing another one in the future, aren't we? A collab.
Yeah.
And probably maybe do something in the Mendips again.
Yeah, do another one in the Mendips.
We both enjoyed. Yeah, we both enjoyed where we were, because I drove all night, didn't I? To
yeah, I'll tell you what we could do. You were thinking about doing the S&D in Shepton Mallet.
Yes.
We could meet halfway, because it's about halfway for us, isn't it? I think
it is. I would say it probably is. Yeah.
I'm about 3/4 hour to an hour. You're probably roughly the same.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe I could.
The reason I think that this is on a U, funny U shape, because I think the main line is down in there somewhere, and this will meet up with it. So the trains would have had to come along here, following the contour line, and I think it's just here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It looks like it's just up here. So this would have been the site of Serridge Junction. Now, originally, when this line was planned and built and then subsequently opened around about 1871, they had planned to do a spur going the other way, but it was only facing down that way, so it all makes sense. So literally it's carrying on in this direction, and if they wanted to go back down towards Parkend and Lydney, they would have had to kind of shuffle backwards and forwards here at this site of Seridge Junction. Sadly, there is nothing much to see other than a great big open space and the meeting of tracks, but we think it was somewhere around here.
This looks
ish.
like, doesn't
Yeah.
it? big wide
It's
open area.
we're just going to check the map, but thanks for Darren for that, and
You're welcome, Paul.
looking out for future collabs with Darren from Somerset Man Walking. Serridge Junction. Now this here is a forestry commission track. That's not our railway. It ended just there, and our railway line meeting up with the main Severn Wye coming out of Parkend and Lydney would have carried on through the woods here. Unfortunately, it's impassable any further along there. The main line is down there. You can actually see the bikes going through the trees. That is the main line of the old Severn Wye here at Serridge. I think I've got a couple of old photographs around this area. If I can find those, I'll insert them around now, but sadly can't continue down that way. Now let's go somewhere else to finish today's video.
That was a bit of an experience.
That was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. Sorry, we're recording this on two cameras at the same time.
Again.
So we're going to look, and then if you see our eyes moving, it's because we're trying to get it on both cameras.
Yeah.
But what an incredible experience that was.
It was great, that tunnel, wasn't it? I mean, you know, I know we couldn't get to the north portal, but we sort of did.
We did.
From inside.
We did.
So that was a bonus.
Which is quite unusual. I didn't expect to be able to walk through
No.
so much of the tunnel, really. I just thought we'd get so far and that would be it. We couldn't get right up to it because of the mud that was on the ground inside the tunnel, which you found. You said, oh, I don't think we're going to do. But that aside, it was great. It's just a shame we couldn't get to see it from the outside of Northern, but yeah, it was just too hairy.
It was well worth.
But
well
it was
worth
great.
It.
It was great, yeah, and seeing the Parkend station here as well.
That's it.
And the
Yeah,
Junction,
where we started.
Serridge. Yeah, it's been a great morning here.
We just
Very
sat
great
here.
morning. Yeah, we've got coffees in
Yeah,
here. So
got
we've got-
coffees. Cheers, Paul.
We're actually in
Good
the
health.
I think it's called the bike shed,
Yeah.
which is just round from Parkend station. So if you want to hire cycles from here, see if I can find a link and I'll put it
Nice
linked to
coffee
that.
as well.
It is good. Darren's, you just had a sausage roll.
Yeah, the sausage
sausage roll
roll
with
was
it,
perfect.
which
I'd
was
recommend
great.
that. That's like a proper butcher's one. None of your processed rubbish.
So that's great. So that's it from me. That's it from
Yeah.
Darren
Enjoyed.
on our videos. Thank you very much for watching. There'll be another one that we'll be doing in a not too distant future, possibly Mendip's Way or
Oh, yeah. We'll have to have a chat.
Somerset. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
look out for it. There'll be
Yeah.
something
So, guys, thanks for watching, and I think we've enjoyed it.
yeah,
haven't
it's
we?
been great. Been
So,
a really enjoyable experience.
Take
Yeah.
care, stay safe. All the best from Somerset Man Walking, and
And Paul from West Country Wanderings.
All the best,
See you all
guys.
soon. Cheers now.
Cheers
Bye.
now.
Bye.